right, call this meeting to order. Tuesday, April 15th, 2025, Shelby County Board of Supervisors. Conflicts of interest, gentlemen?
None.
None? Okay. Get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Consider approval of the minutes from April 1st. Any corrections?
They look good to me.
Get a motion?
A motion approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Claims. Does have a chance to look them over? I didn't see any issues.
Motion approved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, at this time we're gonna make a call into Representative Steve Holt for an update. He may not answer, so we'll try. If not, we'll just move on. So.
We got the wrong number.
Is the code being on for Saturday? You're right. Yeah.
Good morning, Steve. Steve, can you hear
Good
us?
morning. I'm sorry, I'm in caucus. I had to step out.
Okay. Good morning.
How you doing?
This is Mike Colby at Shelby County Supervisors meeting. I'm good. You're on the air with everybody. You want to give us a brief update on what's going on in Des Moines this morning?
Well, in Des Moines today, we're in caucus right now. We're at that end of session period where we're not coming in every day like we normally do. There's deals being made by leadership on various budgets and things of that kind, and we're still kind of working on the property tax bill, getting feedback on that. There was a new one released last week, House Study Bill 328, that is the newest iteration of it. Rather than amend the old one, they just went ahead and created a new one because it's so complex, and they just created a new one based upon feedback they had heard. I'm hearing more and more that, I thought toward the beginning of session we were probably going to pass it this year. Now I'm hearing that, we may not get there this year, that it may be next year because we're continuing to take input from local folks and all of that. So that's where we're at. We're kind of in that final phase where we'll figure out the budgets, get the budgets passed, pass a few final policy bills, and be done with the session for the year. And like I said, the property tax discussions are continuing. If you guys, I don't know if you've looked at HSB 328 yet, but please feel free to do that, and then email me your concerns and your questions. I will take those to the Chair of Ways and Means, Bobby Coughlin, who's working on the bill, and that's how we've been doing it over the last few weeks. So that's about the only update I can give you at this point.
Nothing further on the eminent domain issue?
On the eminent domain issue, we passed, two really, really strong bills and sent them to the Senate. The Senate amended them in a way where they kind of took out the property rights protections. That comes back over to us. We're not going to accept it. We would amend it back to what it originally was, or simply reject their amendment. Now, what they would do after that, I do not know. We also have one more bill we haven't sent over there yet that's in Ways and Means that basically is the same bill as we passed last year that requires a declaratory judgment up front if a landowner questions the constitutionality of the domain request. That hasn't gone over to the Senate yet. So the two bills we sent over to them, they didn't take up one of them, and they amended the other one where it kind of made it somewhat meaningless in terms of property rights. So, or they plan to amend it that way. So if they do that and send it back over to us, I doubt that, I think we would reject that, and then I can't speak for what they would do at that point. So.
Okay. Any other questions from you guys?
Nope.
All right, we'll let you get back to it. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, and again, you guys email me your questions and concerns about property taxes and anything else, okay?
Okay, we will.
Certainly will. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate
Have a great day.
Yep, you too.
Bye-bye.
Board of Supervisors Pipeline Liaison Report, Steve Kinkle.
Morning, man.
Morning, good morning.
Steve kind of took part of mine. I'll focus on big developments up in South Dakota last week. The South Dakota Utility Commission, like our utility board, they denied Summit's request. Summit had requested in March to extend indefinitely the permit process. They're in their second go-around of applying for a permit, first time got denied. And then the commission last week denied their indefinite request and gave them till next Tuesday, the 22nd, to come with a plan on how they're gonna move forward. And so they're gonna decide, okay, accept your plan and move forward, or we're gonna deny your permit request. Then I don't know what they'll do. If they deny their permit request and someone does not get a permit up there, they cannot start construction in Iowa. They have to get, it's huge development. They have to get that permit in order to start construction in Iowa. So if you hear any rumors about they can get started, and if they get denied and have to reapply a third time, it'll take a year from whenever they start again. So that's some huge developments up there. And then like Steve had hit on, the two bills they passed over to Senate, it's getting very frustrating. We had hoped that the Senate wants Stonewall property owners again this year, and they gutted that bill so bad that, as you heard Steve, this House won't even take it up. And the guy that's ahead, Mike Boozalo, who's the head of the Commerce Commission, who is in charge of that, he used to work for Senate. So you kind of read between the lines what's going on here. And it's really too bad, because now we're hearing the Senate does have the votes. And before they used to say they didn't have the votes, and that's why they never brought it up. Well, now they do. That's what we're hearing, and they still won't bring it up. So keep talking to your legislators if people ask. So
Jason Schultz, one of the best people for us to talk to about
yes,
this.
and I've had contact. I just talked to Jason yesterday, and I asked him if it was coming to the floor, because Busslow's bill could still come to the floor for debate, even though we don't like it. It can get changed and amended.
Yeah.
But they need to bring it to the floor debate and vote, and at least have some open discussion on it. They won't even do that. And so he said at this time it's not on the calendar. So, and he even said himself, this is getting very frustrating. Especially when you have the polling from the public is at 80%, and the House passed at 82 to 85%. It's not like it's a small group out there. You know, it's constitutionally something that needs to be addressed. So.
Do you think Governor Reynolds' announcement that she's not running for re-election, will that have any sway in this one way or the other, do you think, or?
I don't know. I know the landowners group had tried to visit with her and never get that done. Not to say they won't hear in the
If there's
future.
new leadership there, maybe it.
Yeah, as far as things changing that, I don't know. It's just
Depends on
be a
who else
guess.
comes in, yeah.
Yeah, she's been very silent on the issue, so it's just been frustrating too.
Yeah. That's why I was kind of hoping we get somebody that wouldn't be silent on it and
Right,
take landowner's side.
right. Well, even some of the people, I don't know if you've been reading that or thinking about running for governor, have been very open about getting this straightened out.
So it could be a good move.
So, okay? If something comes up, I'll send you an email or something, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dean.
Yep.
Chris Frederickson, County Engineer.
Good morning.
Morning, Chris.
Morning.
How is everyone?
Good.
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Need a little rain, but
Yeah.
We'll do your rain dance.
I tried. Just scared it away. Okay, first off, this morning I have two right-of-way permits I would seek approval for. One is from Windstream of Iowa. That is for a new drop to a resident. And the other one is from Farmers Mutual. And that is also, it's a new line to a new pedestal in front of a residence. So I'm sure they will be providing service to someone. So I have all the necessary paperwork, everything there. I don't foresee an issue. Windstream does go under the road. It'll be bored as normal. Farmer stays in the ditch. So shouldn't be any issue with either one of those. If you don't have any other questions, I would recommend the approval of those.
A motion to approve the right-of-way permit for Windstream and Farmers Mutual.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I'll give you take one of those and pass them down. Send that one, please. We'll start out with the FY 2026 DOT budget. This is something that's done every year. The DOT requires it. It's based on what we go through with my budget and what the county will provide, along with the money we get from the DOT every year. So just a quick overview here, and feel free to ask any questions, but the overall budget for the 2026 fiscal year, we're looking at $7,479,000. That is up from this year's, we were at 7.1 million, so it will be a little larger budget going forward. Out of that, something that I know everybody's always interested in, I have $1.8 million in for rock, or granular surface. And that is just the cost of the rock, hauling the rock either to the road or to the stockpiles. Anything we do past that is out of a different account. So that is up 10% from this year, the 1.8 million. This year it was 1.63, more or less. So overall, that's 24% of my budget is purchasing rock. So it's not a,
Has the price gone up this year?
it did. Depends, we're still blending it. 2/3 limestone, 1/3 road gravel. White rock, the high end was 10% at one location. I think the other one was 6 or something close to that, and road gravel was around 3. So everything did take a jump again. And within that, I know the board is allotting us an extra 100,000 for rock as an earmark. So that is within that number. So I appreciate that. It just gives us a little more to put on the roads and try and keep moving forward and getting a little more out there. So past that, like I said, we've talked about it before. I don't know if you have any other questions for me.
I think everything looks good.
Yep.
It's interesting that out of your $10 million budget, only about $2.5 million are tax dollars, local tax dollars. The rest are
Right, there's,
road use tax and
from the DOT road use, I get $4,257,140.
Yeah.
And the rest comes from local and some sort, either
Right.
TIF or the general or rural basic, anything like that. So 57% roughly is DOT road use tax dollars.
and that's a tax on fuel.
Yes.
Yep. So, good.
So if there's nothing else of that, questions, if you could approve my FY 2026 DOT budget, please.
We have a motion to approve the fiscal year 2026 DOT budget.
Motion.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and tying in with that, now we have the fiscal year 2026 CFYP. This is our construction program. Going forward, this also does tie into the budget. This year for construction portion of the budget, we're looking at right around 360,000, and that's out of the 7.479 million. So not a small, not a large number, but that is just the local portion of what we will do. And within that, I'm looking to replace 4 weight limited structures. One will be a full bridge replacement. There's 2 bridges that will be replaced by culverts. 1 bridge will be replaced to a low water. And also there is it's a triple tube culvert structure that is in not good shape at all. That I think I'm going to try something else. There's some other counties that have done an integral concrete deck structure with the beams. We have some beams, it's a shorter structure. I think it would fit well and cost-wise, it should come out pretty decent. So I'd like to try that there. I think we'd have something that should be more or less maintenance-free for many, many years going forward. So the structure that's there with those tubes is probably, I'd say it's between 50 and 60 years old. So it's not, in the grand scheme, it's not old, but it's not new, but the pipes are failing. So before we end up with a roadway that's unusable, that'll be in there also. So big projects, these would be DOT-let projects. We have the M16 paving, which we've talked about. So that 14 miles will be great to have redone. Pavement markings are in there. That's once every 2 years. We try and get all the lines refreshed all over. And then also the federal grant that we submitted for the F-24 concrete culvert, it's in. We're still waiting to hear if that's been approved, if we'll get any money for that or not. So with what's happening in the federal government, I don't know how fast that will come back as a response, but that is in this year's program also, which is where it needed to be to apply for the grant. So hopefully we have a good year and everything goes, and obviously if there's issues somewhere else, things can move, but
Good to have a plan, though.
yeah. And hopefully we can stay with it, like I say, depending on funding or availability or issues we have going forward. Things are subject to change, but kind of the direction I'd like to go.
Well, it looks like repairs don't discriminate countywide. They're in every quadrant and
Right.
all over the county.
There's a lot of stuff all over, so.
Sure is.
And sometimes we try and, if we can stay closer and do more projects in one, so we're not bouncing around, but
Will this map be available online if people want to look at the 5-year plan?
I haven't had it online, but it could be.
Might save some calls on when are you going to get to this
Yeah.
road, or when are you going to get to this bridge?
It's in the, otherwise it's in the office too, but
Okay.
yeah, with the new website, maybe let's see if we can put it
Yeah,
on.
that'd be
there, so.
of interest, I think, people, what's coming up.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff going on, so like I say, we try and do the best we can and the most we can do and share out throughout the county, so.
Okay, any other questions? We'll have a motion to approve the fiscal year 2026 DOT 5-year plan.
Motion?
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And just a couple other quick things. Last board meeting, I talked about the direct-to-road rock haul. We should be done with that tomorrow. We haven't had any moisture, I understand, the roads we've done. We've tried to pull them in at the same time, so they are rough. They are starting to get a little spongy with the lack of moisture to keep everything packed down. So I do understand that it's not an ideal situation. Hopefully we'll have all the moisture. As soon as we do, we can get out, reblade them, get them straightened out, and each time it rains, we'll get a little better. So it takes a couple of good rains on them to really solidify everything and improve it. But it should help the road grade anyway, as far as when it does rain, shed the water. And
Yep. I've got a lot of complaints early, and then after they're settled in, everybody loves them because the water's getting off the road and there's no potholes
Right.
anymore, so.
it's the initial
It's a
go
growing
around
pain.
that's,
Yeah,
that's
I just
a
tell
little
them, hang in
difficult.
there, and
Right.
it does work.
And we have to play with the weather, and I guess going forward, we had rain the first day we started, and we haven't had rain since, so it's another one of those
Yeah.
situations that we can't plan for.
Right.
So that will get finished up, and like I say, we'll be back to those to dress them up, touch them up, re-rock spots. We know there'll be spots, so we will be back out. The bridge crew is finishing up on the bridge to pipe job on 1200 Street, hauling dirt right now, so that will get done. That was a bridge that went to a culvert, and when that gets done, we're just going around the corner to do the same thing to another structure. Bridge will come out, culvert pipe will go in, so we'll be rid of 2 more rated bridges there, and they're both on dirt roads, so I haven't seen too many issues going with that. Otherwise, we're out blading, touching rock up as good as we can with our own forces, and started in the ditches, so we'll keep moving forward.
All right.
We talked a week or so ago about that property along 191 south of Panama, the ditch got filled in.
Oh.
Any headway on that?
Yeah, no, that, when we go forward here this year, we'll see if we can't get over there and clean it out. I think what we'll do, we'll make some ditch checks in there too, or silt fence or something, just to retain some of that sediment and try and improve that for them also along the highways.
Dispute between some property owners, I think.
Yeah,
The only other one I've been brought to my attention was Nishna Avenue, I think it is, in the south of,
okay.
right across the bridge there in Harlan, south of 141, I think that's Nishna. Just that road was in terrible shape, I don't know.
Going out to the north,
Going to the south. Isn't,
Mission doesn't go south.
okay, just over the bridge.
Maple,
Yeah, could be Maple, yep. I think
and
that's
that's
the one.
the one we're pulling in. Did
Okay,
they
that's
call
the
you
one.
yesterday? Well,
I just saw it online.
Okay.
There's only one that
okay.
just posted
That's-
on it.
that's-
I haven't been out there, so I don't know. I just-
That's one of the sections we pulled everything back in and rocked over. So south of the city of Harlan and that, south of 900th, that's where we started.
Okay,
So,
great. Okay.
yes, that will be
So, okay,
probably not ideal for a little bit,
a little while,
but
okay. At least-
it should help it overall.
Okay, super.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Todd Deline.
Morning, Todd.
Morning, guys.
All right, Chuck.
Just a few items, date items. First is a reminder that with Friday being Good Friday, our office will be closed as we start to celebrate the Easter weekend. Next Thursday, we are taking we'll be having the Funshine Luncheon. So that's basically Administrative Assistance Day. It's our annual event from 11:30 to 12:30 at the Country Club. So we're taking reservations for the lunch part right now. Earlier we were looking for people to help decorate tables. Now we're taking reservations for the lunch. The cost per person is $20, and they can just give us a call out at the office, 755-2114. They can pay at the event, but we just need to get a head count so we know what's going on. And again, this year, the Shelby County Historical Museum is going to do an Honor a Veteran in Your Life sign program. So you can order a sign from them. It's $40. They're double-sided and they feature the veteran's name, service branch, and photo. Each purchase includes a wire stake to display your sign. Now they have a form out on their website that you have to go out and put the information in, and that will close at noon on April 18th, and then the signs will be available to be picked up at the museum. So you just visit the museum's website to put in your reservation for your sign. And with Steve's update there, the public can come out and find some more information, because we are having one more legislative coffee. That'll be this Saturday, starting at 10 o'clock, and it'll be out at the chamber office. And then finally, Merck Medical is hosting a Fishing for Fun evening from 5 to 7 at Nishna Bend Recreation Area on Monday, May 5th. So this is for families with kids 12 and under. They'll have everything set up for the kids out there to fish. They'll provide a meal. If adults want to fish with their kids, they can. They either have to have a valid fishing license or need to purchase one before the event. If they purchase one and bring the receipt out for one adult per family, the Public Health Learning for Life program will reimburse them $22 towards their cost of their fishing license. So families do need to register by April 30th, and they can just go to the Shelby County Clinic's website. Just the way that they did it, you have to go to the appointment section of the Shelby County Clinic website to put in your family to participate with the family fishing night. Other than that, things are going good. I'm starting to think about maybe having a sail cart tournament because of the winds lately.
Yeah.
It wouldn't last very long, but it'd be kind of fun to watch. But and we'll have our golf tournament. We're putting together our golf tournament coming up in June. It'll be out at the North Course. And a reminder, May 10th is their grand reopening day. So go on out and take a look at the new clubhouse and
Very nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. We'll have a ribbon cutting for them at 4:30 that day. But I'm hearing it's beautiful out there.
It is.
So, yep.
They took one of them trees they cut down, cut it, made tabletops for the bar.
Yeah, my understanding is
Beautiful.
Dave Brahman did that work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's what what I've been told. It's gorgeous, so.
Got a bunch of golf ball dents in it from people.
Exactly. All right, so that's it, unless you got questions?
No questions. Thank you, Todd.
All right, thanks.
Up next, Southwest Iowa Mental Health Regional Update. Susan Watson.
Morning, didn't see you come in.
Good morning.
You've been sitting there for a while.
No, she doesn't look that way, I guess.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, so we got lots of things going on. So Mike joined our region board as we're closing down, unfortunately. But he thought it'd be a good idea just to come tell you about the region closing down and then the disability access point starting up. So been a little busy, but that's better than the alternative, because for a while we thought it was going to be the alternative, which would be nobody had a job and...
Yeah, landed on their feet a little bit.
Yes,
Very nice.
we definitely did.
Yeah.
So let me start with the region first, as far as that closing down. So officially, we're done June 30th, as far as our normal Southwest Iowa region work. And so that's the 9 counties of the region that has been serving this area for the last 10 years. So we are notifying all of our providers that they no longer bill us. Things don't change July 1. That's the important thing, is you hear if people have questions. It's just really important to get the message out that services won't change for individuals. They should see this as a very seamless transition. For providers, they will be billing somebody different. And so the state is taking on a lot of the billing that the regions normally would do, along with the new, what they call the Behavioral Health Administrative Service Organization. So the Behavioral Health ASO is what is taking over the administrative functions of the region. So we the region, if you think of it as, we have a bunch of service coordinators that directly helped individuals, and then we have the administrative arm that, developed crisis services, paid provider bills, just worked with all of our providers, kept working toward evidence-based practices, just trying to build the system as much as we could. So that administrative function now goes to Iowa Primary Care Association, which is in charge of they got the bid for all 7 districts in the state. They're based out of Des Moines. They will have people in our district. You're in District 4. They will be hiring people locally. They haven't hired anyone yet, but they hope to be hiring people by June. So they will have a couple navigators that will be on board June 1st. After that, they hope to have, I think, 6 navigators, which would be similar to our service coordinators in the region. Helping people that are in crisis, helping our jail staff when people come in to the jail and they need transition, getting services set up, that type of thing. So that piece, so substance abuse, mental health, prevention, recovery, that's all with Iowa Primary Care Association going forward. Billing for providers, and I know I saw Kathy sitting out there, so like for Country Care, they will bill the state through they're in the process of setting up a new program called the Safety Net Management Information System. They've already have the basic management information set up for another piece of what providers already bill. They're just kind of adding on to it. So, we paid a good $7 million in funding to service providers. So we had staff that worked directly paying, a lot of their job was paying bills to providers. So that piece will go to the state and to the Behavioral Health ASO.
You'll probably get it back.
So the transition to the disability access point. So we were awarded the disability access point. We actually applied through Pottawatomie County because Pottawatomie County currently employs all of our region staff, and it was just much easier rather than setting up a new governmental structure because the counties were different in the district. So Pottawatomie County was awarded it. We're not calling ourselves Pottawatomie County by any means. will be the Western Iowa Services Collaborative. And we were awarded District 4, which is 14 counties in southwest Iowa. So we go over now to Audubon and down to Ringgold. So we've got and we lost Harrison and Monona. But we're keeping Harrison and Monona because we were awarded District 1, which goes all the way up to the top two most northwest counties.
You basically got all of Western Iowa.
We got
for
all
the
of
most
Western
part.
Iowa, yeah. So 27 counties altogether. So what we will be doing there, we're continuing to do what we really do well, which is serving people, getting people set up with services. So it's anyone with a disability. So the state structure is, they're really putting in place an Aging Disability Resource Center, which is a federal model. The Connections Area Agencies on Aging, there were 7 agencies in the state that did that aging piece. Those remain. So they're the A in the ADRC. We are the D. We're the disability piece of the ADRC. So we'll be providing basically information and assistance to people if they call us. We can do short-term, what they call options counseling, making sure people know all of their different services that they're entitled to, help people get set up with those services. Short-term services that we currently fund for people, rent, transportation. Some of that will run through the Disability Access Point, not much. We only have about $150,000 per district. We're thinking that, so it's a very limited amount of money there. And then we'll also be doing long-term, what they call long-term services and supports, service coordination. So people who just need extra assistance in the community to get by day to day with persons with disabilities. So intellectual disabilities, mental health, brain injuries. This is any disability, so any physical disability also. So we'll be following those folks along. We're envisioning we'll have 8 service navigators in District 4 and 9 in District 1. So the good news was we were able to keep everybody except our administrative staff. This is very, well, I guess you could consider me an administrative staff, but our people who paid bills here, Kim Mason that worked for Shelby County, she's retiring officially in June. We also had another person that's able to retire. So we're able though to transition our current supervisors, directors, so Lonnie McGuire will become one of our supervisors for the district. And so we're able to keep all of our service coordinators. We'll just have to move them around. The office situations will be a little different. Being a front door they really want us out in the community, which is what we do now. We go to people, right? Most people we go to where they're at. But we're gonna be kind of envisioning a different type of office space. So we'll be going out to different providers like West Central, our community mental health centers, places that would welcome us to sit in their office for like a half a day, every couple weeks, that people can come in and work with us directly if they just need some information. Will be available by phone. And then once we get people established, we'll go out and see them. Our people will be going out. So really we won't have any like administrative offices, maybe one in Council Bluffs, maybe one in Sioux City, but everybody else will be kind of out and about working in the community. So different model. I'm really happy we got it though, because this really is the only piece of the system that isn't changing as far as the faces and the good work we've been able to do in hooking people up with services and get them what they need. Had we not gotten this, I would have been a little bit more nervous about this transition July 1, because there are a lot of things changing. But they really want to make sure people don't worry that, you know, the services aren't going to continue, the contracts are going to continue. For the first year, they'll get out and renegotiate those contracts and everything, so.
You've been doing a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, it says a lot that you were awarded District 1 and 4.
Yeah.
Based on the work you've done in the past, I think, partially.
Yeah. Yeah, and we, so there were four basically regions that were awarded the 7 districts. So we got two, one of the, well, Central Iowa Community Services was awarded 3 of the smaller districts, and then Polk County and East Central was awarded the large district on the east side. So we're, a lot of work, but we're excited and we're hoping that we can make this a smooth transition for people, so.
Suzanne and her staff have done a lot of work over the last 6 months to
Exhausting
prepare
work.
for this, yeah. Trying to get the state to move things along because, you know,
Yeah.
June 30th is gonna be here before we know it.
Yeah, and we just got our.
Get everything in place.
Yeah, and I know there's been a lot of questions from people, and we just got our contract signed 2 weeks ago, and we had our first meeting on the 4th with Aging Disability Services within Health and Human Services. So we're just now, we have talking points, we have things that, you know, we need to go through the state when we present information, make sure that we're all on the same page. We're working on a transition plan right now to just let people know how we're gonna get these services up and going, and how we're gonna get staff hired. I do need to get a lot of staff up in District 1, so.
For the public, the big thing is that you're still the gatekeeper for
Yes.
information, where to go.
Yes, we are the front door.
Front-
If people
first
have
call.
any questions, they should start with us and we will get them to where they need to be, so.
Okay.
And just a note too, so for the region, one thing I should mention, we have our last crisis intervention training coming up for law enforcement. I know Shelby County has always been really involved in that. So if they have any, we have sent some information out. I don't think anyone's signed up yet from Shelby County, but that could be the last free crisis intervention training for a while. So I would encourage your officers to go to the last one in June if they can. I think we still have about 7 spots left.
Did get that flyer to Alex and he did get it out to everybody in the county.
Yeah, so
Might be
hopefully they
interested in
can
that, so.
join our last one, so, yeah. But yeah, if any questions come up, just please shoot people my way and we'll hopefully get them answered for you.
I appreciate you coming out this
Yeah.
morning.
Thank you.
Thanks, Susan.
Yeah, Thanks.
Thank you.
Next, consider a letter of support for Iowa Western's Adult Education and Family Literacy Act grant application.
This is something that was sent to me to present to the board. We've done it in the past, something they continues on their education that they can do, and it's just a grant that they're able to get, that they'd like to show support from the community, both governmental and private, I think, for this. So I think you guys have a copy of that, you've seen that, so.
Yep.
I would make a motion to approve the letter of support.
Second?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I need
Sounds
to
like a great program.
send that to them today, so do we have that to sign? Do we have a copy of that here? Okay. I'll get it to Bryce to sign.
Okay.
So we'll let me print it out here after the meeting.
Okay. Committee reports. Mike, anything?
Just had one official meeting anyway. The ambulance commission met on April 10th, and it's my first meeting, and the first meeting I attended for that, they voted to disband the organization, so that was a one and done for me. But under the new Shelby County Ambulance Commission, there's no longer a need for the previous commission, so they voted to dissolve that and took care of some housekeeping clerical items for that to happen, so, which will be on the agenda here in just a little bit, so. That was it for me.
I have nothing.
Been working on hiring a new custodian, because Penny's retiring in May. Taryn and I have been interviewing. Also, we will interview this week for the new EMS coordinator, so that's coming up Friday. So we'll be busy with that, and get some new faces around here before you know it, so. Okay, so we'll move on to number 12, consider approval of Ambulance Commission of Shelby County addendum to joint agreement.
I can speak to that a little bit. The last agreement for the previous Shelby County Ambulance Commission just spelled out who owned what, And at that time, the commission owned the 2 ambulances. And now that they're dissolving, they are gifting or transferring title to those ambulances to the new Shelby County Ambulance Commission. So they just needed to put that in an amendment to that agreement so that can happen. So that's really all that is. So those 2 ambulances will become the property of the Shelby County Ambulance Commission, Shelby County Ambulance Commission. So,
Any further discussion?
Motion approved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We own ambulances now, Jenny.
Start maintaining them.
Okay. Consider approval of resolution of the Board of Directors of the Ambulance Commission of Shelby County. That's committee Mike's on.
Yeah, this is the one I just spoke about. They voted to dissolve that commission since we have the new Shelby County Ambulance Commission. This just officially, the city of Harlan, Shelby County, and Merchant Memorial Hospital were the 3 entities that were involved in that, and they just all 3 have to sign off on it. So that's what this is for, Shelby County to sign off and they're dissolving that.
Do we have a motion to approve this resolution?
Motion approved.
I will second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Dissolved. Jay Ring, is Jay here? Okay. Every year we have to approve the notice of destruction of noxious weeds. Jay is our weed commissioner. I believe that was sent out, so you guys reviewed it, but it doesn't change a lot from year to year. So we just need to approve that so it can be published in the paper.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So our weeds are taken care of. Any department heads want to give a report today? Don't see anybody, don't hear anybody. Auditor, Building and Grounds report and authorization to sign the proposal for the boiler replacement. Taryn.
So this project was started last fall with Mark, and they got us the proposal to replace all 3 boilers for $111,250, and they can start work on it this fall. So we just need approval to sign this proposal so they can get stuff ordered and get started on that.
Carroll Control is who the bid's through. They've been excellent to work with.
Yep, and they're currently replacing a couple units in the courthouse every year. So,
They've been
So
wonderful.
the money's in capital expenditures for that?
Yep, it was already in the budget
Yep.
for that.
And our air conditioning is fairly new, so we should be pretty well. HVAC in this building should be pretty modern, so,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
So make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're getting new boilers. Consider approval to authorize the auditor to sign the fiscal year 2024 certification statement for the cost allocation plan.
I sent that out to all of you. So the cost allocation plan gives us a little bit of money back. So the indirect cost that the county incurs for the local DHHS office.
It's Department of Human Services, right?
Yeah. And so we hired this cost allocation company, and they go through the expenses that each department has and what they could reimburse for.
Mhm.
So,
It's about 25,000, something like that.
yeah, total reimbursement for the year was $25,120. So they found indirect costs of $76,000 this last year. $25,000 can be reimbursed.
Sounds like a good deal.
Do you know what it costs to hire the company to do that?
It was a little over $4,000.
Pretty good return on investment.
This is something we've been doing every year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, you have a motion to approve the auditor to sign the certification statement for the cost allocation plan.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.